What do you guys have questions? You guys want to know what's happening in season 3?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I know this young lady has a question.
Yes.
She volunteered to be my first.
Got it.
Compared to Lost,
Yes.
how do you think the answers to Throne will come about? Do you think it will be better than what Lost was?
Well, if you want to,
I was going to say yes, because I wasn't in Lost. But I'll let you start.
okay, I'll start. Got it. So, kids. So here's what I think, because this is just a technical answer, because Lost had 6 seasons of like 20 whatever episodes, right? The answers came 24, sometimes 22, like 20, yeah. The answers came really slowly. We only have 10 episodes. So the answers are gonna come quick, but like every other thing, they're gonna come with a few more questions until we get to the end. But the end isn't far away. That's the other thing. The end isn't far away. The one thing that's different is we have a really finite ending. I don't know what the end is. I actually don't know what the end is, but I know we've talked a bunch of times because we want job security, which we clearly have not.
And we're fans of the show as well. Like, I don't want it to end in season 3 and not know what the hell's going on. Like, I want to know why we're in the town.
First and foremost, you know. And I don't want us to be in purgatory. Just in case anybody was wondering. Right. Gonna wake up and Matt Fox is gonna how'd you get here, Matt Fox? But yeah, so that's the answer. The answers will come. They'll come quicker, but it'll be dead. It's good. You should be. We shot this year for the first time in winter. You should not shoot an outdoor show in Halifax in the winter.
I'll send you some fur.
Please. We're still, I still have a chill. We finished like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, a little cold.
We were normally a summer show, and we had the privilege to have the worst Nova Scotian winter in 20 years. Start the second we started our 3rd season. It was ice storms, windstorms, hurricanes, snowstorms, ice storms.
Sometimes all on the same day.
Yeah. It was intense. But I think it's gonna really make the show feel that much more intense and that much more elevated, and nobody really feels safe. Because we literally didn't feel safe while we shot the show. I was looking at him, you okay? No, it was awful. But, you know,
there were sometimes pained looks on our face. That's real pain. I'm not even kidding, like it's full. Like, we're just like,
It's called adding to your art. Just adding to your art.
exactly. Exactly.
Anybody else? Questions? Come on. Come on, anybody.
No.
Is that a real town where you shoot, or is that all set?
Yeah, no, that's a really, really, really amazing question. We are so blessed. On our production design team, it's led by a man named Matt Likely, who I think is one of the greatest production designers working in Hollywood right now. So everything you guys see is actually there to scale. Like the Colony House is a real massive mansion that's 3.5 stories tall that you could go outside into the town and walk up each set of stairs. The entire town, Boyd's office, the gas station, the clinic, everything is there, and it would take like 35 minutes to walk the entire thing. It's remarkable. Certain things like the caves and that kind of stuff, that's all worked into the studio.
that's in the studio.
Yeah, but the house, the Matthews house that crumbled, there's a crumbled house there. They dropped the house. Yeah, and then they built it so it was easier for people to walk on top of, go underneath, but everything you guys see, which makes it really easy for us to shoot, is real. So, you know, we take a year off of shooting, I know it sucks, but you go back and you walk into that town and you're right there. And you have memories of what happened with my mom, with you show up and it's immediately fresh in your brain. So it makes it a lot easier for us to feel immersed. Which hopefully helps you guys feel immersed, but it's magic. Will there be a From tour? My answer is yes. Yeah. There absolutely will be a From tour.
He took his friends on a tour this year.
Yeah. I said I was bringing one person and I showed up with I think 12. So they got a real in-depth look at the behind the scenes. But we talk about it all the time. We hope that in the future, maybe even after season 3, there's some sort of event, like Fromville, From Town, where you guys can come and see how it's made. I'm not just saying this because we're on the show. It's the most remarkable thing I've ever seen behind the scenes. It's insane.
And if you're in Nova Scotia and you have one of your maps from your phone, it lists the diner, it lists the Colony House, and they're all
you don't even, if you go on Google Maps like today, from here, and you search From Town or whatever it may be, it will come up, and you can do kind of like a tour, and I think maybe even, you can do like Street View, I think you can do a tour through the town like that as well.
It's pretty cool.
It's insane.
What's that?
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So you're invited to Nova Scotia. Yeah, I think so. So just like that.
All right, gentlemen, we are right here with this young lady in the group.
Yes.
Okay, and I didn't know you until finished filming, but I was kind of curious what the theory was on what the spirit or entity is in that's trying to get everybody.
Right. I'll tell you what, and this is, I don't know if this is a secret or not, I don't think it really is. This is what they explained to me when I got the job. That there are monsters out in the woods, and those monsters are the tip of the iceberg. So as we go further in to the woods, it's gonna get worse.
A lot worse.
That's all I know. But I don't actually know what that means. So,
well, you see it with the with the cicadas in season 2. And
did the cicadas show up in season 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember that?
I was like, wait.
And then no spoilers. But yeah, and then Martin in the chamber. Like there are all of these different layers that as we go on.
Yeah. Well, Martin even says it. Do you think do you think those things are it? It's like that's not it.
Yeah, that's just the tip of the spear. So
that's it.
The entity it's revealing itself, and we still don't know.
Yeah.
As the actors, we really don't. But there are things that we've slowly been piecing together, and the one thing that I was always like, are you just lying to me? They kept saying, when people go back and look at season 1 and season 2 and now when season 3 fully airs, they kept saying to me, when you go back, you're gonna say, oh, that makes sense as to why. I was like, you're just lying. Now 3 seasons in, I go back and I watch season 1 and I'm like, that makes sense. And in season 3, there's a couple of those moments where you're gonna be like, what? No way. And then watch it all over again and again and again and again.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's actually
Now I get it. This is a
Family value pack question right here.
got it.
I was, especially because Ellis is Boyd's son, I was wondering if y'all had like a favorite scene to film together?
I do.
You go first.
I think the very first time.
He was about to give a spoiler. Okay, I'll go first, and I won't spoil anything. No, it's a really funny story to me. In season 1, so look, it's Harold Perrineau. I mean, he's one of the greatest actors to ever exist, right? Please. So I, like you, before I'd never met him, but I'd watched him for years, and he's one of my favorite actors. So I decided to be an asshole to him the day that I met him. Because when we got the script, as you guys know, in season 1 especially, we really, really, really don't like each other. And I was really trying to find myself in Ellis and prove myself to the director and to Harold that I was a real actor. So we hung out one-on-one a few days before we started shooting. And it went really, really, really great. We got along, I was like, oh my God, this guy gets me, I get him, it's gonna be amazing. And on day 1, we get into the van together, And he's like, "Hey, man."
He stops talking.
And I just get tongue in cheek. I'm like, "Nah, don't fucking talk to me." I completely isolated him for the entire morning just to kind of build what that would feel like between Corteon and Harold. And so all of that happened just before we shoot the very first scene that you meet me and see us together, where I'm drawing Fatima. And I think it helped because we established, because we get along so well in real life.
Yeah.
And it gave us something palpable that we could kind of use as conflict. So the very, very, very first scene I ever shot on From was the very first scene you ever see me in, and that's with him. And I think without going into spoilers in season 3, because that's where my real favorite scene is, that is what I would say my answer is.
Got it.
Yeah.
My favorite answer is the scene right before, it's in season 1, right before Boyd leaves with Sarah, and when Boyd talks to Ellis, and then when Ellis comes back, and they forgive each other, and
That's a really beautiful scene.
Next question. Oh, we have one here in the room.
Hello. Do you really draw?
Do I really draw?
Yeah.
Not every day, no. And I don't think I'm particularly good at it at all.
he's actually quite good.
But when we started shooting season 1, I set up like an entire kind of art studio thing in my apartment in Nova Scotia where we shoot. And I got like, easels and chalk and what's the charcoal and all the oil paints and stuff that Alice would kind of use to kind of, discover that side of him. But what's funny is since that episode, I've never done any art on the show. So it's all over my hands and it's all over my clothes, but there's no time. I mean, when people are dying and people are changing into monsters and my wife is pregnant, I mean, I don't really have,
No time for it.
No. But I wish. But an Easter egg is Jack Bender, our executive producer and director. He does, like I'd say maybe about half of the art. Our wonderful art department does a lot of the stuff that I do, but there's a really fantastic mural in Alice and Fatima's room of us holding hands and a giant monster in the back. If you zoom in, you'll see it, and Jack Bender did that, and it's one of my favorite things on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did a lot of work. He's an amazing artist. He really, really is. I own a lot of his art. It's not only I bought it. It's just can I buy that? Then you let me do it.
Anyone else got a question? If not, I got a question.
All right.
How did you get involved with From? I mean, what was the process that got you into the show?
I'll let you go first because I think it's a lot more interesting than mine.
Well, no, it was pretty cool. So, the casting director of From, the American casting director, is an actual really close friend of ours. And so he called up my wife and said, "Hey, do you think Harold would be interested in playing this role that's similar to another role that Terrence Howard played in a thing called Wayward Pines? And do you think it would be offensive if we asked him to, play this role?" My wife said, "Is he the lead character?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "He won't be offended at all." That's how good my wife managed. And then, so Seth, who's the casting director, went to Jack Bender and to Jeff Pinkett and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about Harold Perrineau." And they said, really kindly, "Absolutely not." Like, no. There were so many things that felt like Lost that they were like, no. It wasn't really about me. They were like, they didn't want the comparisons. And at some point they were like, you can't help the comparisons, and it's a really different show. And he's the guy. And so, so then we had a meeting and we talked about it, and then that's how it wound up being.
Thank God.
I'm really happy.
And mine was just your run-of-the-mill, audition and the next steps. And I don't know who knows, but I've only Harold, Catalina, who plays Tabitha, and Ian Bailey, who plays Jim. Those are the only 3 actors that they hired out of the United States. Everybody else is Canadian, including myself. So we had an entirely different Canadian casting director. And so, I met her on Zoom. I did 2 scenes. I did this first scene with me, Harold, and Fatima, where I'm drawing her, and then I did the scene where we're driving, we're taking everybody up to the Colony House, and I yell at Kenny, "You left the fucking spike strip down?" Which is my favorite moment. And those are the two things that we did in the audition. And I didn't hear for a month. They re-released the audition to other actors. They were kind of completely over me, and I didn't really think anything of it. And then I found out that I was the last character in season 1 to get cast, and people were just sitting around the room. And one of our executive producers was like, "There is this guy named Courtney or something. I think we should look at him again." And they brought me in, and I met Jack. And then I got the part like 2 days later. So it was just a couple auditions and really nervous. I puked. I think I might have cried right before. I definitely cried when I got it. The show changed my life. But yeah, man, I've been so blessed to be a part of it. I'm really lucky.
Oz was infinitely easier to escape, even in a wheelchair.
Okay, here we go.
This is for Harold.
Yes.
I know this is a from panel. I hate to be the guy in the room to say that I've never seen the show.
Get out. Get out. Yeah, you gotta leave.
However, that's okay. I did want to say that you were outstanding in Romeo and Juliet. And I hate to put you on the spot, man, but could you hit us with a little Shakespeare?
Did I what?
Could you hit us with a little Shakespeare?
I wish I could. I don't have it at my fingertips like that. Like when you work on it, you work on it and it's really right there. And because once you get it and it's so good, you don't ever want to do it when you don't have it that good again. You don't ever. Then you'll see me cry. I almost cried a second ago. Something else.
I'm a literature professor, and from time to time I'll show clips of your performance in my class.
Oh.
So thank you for that.
Oh, wow, that's really kind. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you.
That is, yeah.
That's really cool.
And what's great is in my generation, our generation, we had to watch the old one from 1974?
The Zeffirelli one, yeah.
So it was great when our kids were able to watch your version.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's
Without
good.
the tights.
Without the tights, without that. So yes, and the chest, the wind blowing through your chest hair and Rikishi. I loved it.
That's my dad talking about it.
Any other questions?
What the hell?
I got a question over here.
All right, we have a question
And
over
the work, Shakespeare was originally written for lots of chest hair scenes.
By the by.
Hi, do y'all have a certain mindset that you have to put yourself in before you even start filming the scene?
Yeah. I think so. It's really interesting. So for me, like I said, I'm quite early in my career, and this is the first show that I've gotten to return to, years, and for now 3 years, and hopefully going on 4 or 5, and however many after. And so the answer to that question has kind of evolved. In the very beginning, it was all kind of about figuring out what the mindset would be for a guy stuck in a town like this, with a relationship with a dad like him, and being in love, all of these different questions that I had to constantly ask myself and find answers to, whether I was reading the script or shooting the scenes on the day. And now it's more so just about kind of remembering the things that we've been through since we've been in this town. Remembering what happened with my mom, remembering how it feels to be with somebody that you really believe is your soulmate. And you start to think about those things and you allow them to feel real, even just in the van on the way to work or on lunch break, you're just having a coffee or something like that, and say I'm doing a scene where we're fighting, and I can remember the moment he shot my mom. I can remember the moment he told me that he's going to go to the woods. It's a lot easier because we've had so long to do these things, really physically do these things. So the mindset is kind of just thinking about what Ellis's memories are, because they're real, and the towns are there, and everything is really there. So it's more of a memory-based thing. That brings me to the mindset. But I'm sure it's different for you.
No, and yeah, no, we do have to remember that. And one of the things that we talk about all the time, because I don't know if you notice, we get along really well, and almost everybody gets along really well. He loves me. But because of that, we really do. Not only the remembering, it's a really tricky line to balance, because they really are in the town in a desperate place, and there's no way to fake that. And so, even when we're having a great time all the time, underneath everything, we go to a restaurant, but just underneath the surface, we're having a terrible time. Like, you know what I mean? Because we have to be able to call it up at any moment. Do you know what I mean? And so you can't like let it go and come back. Your body doesn't want to feel bad ever. So once it's feeling bad, you just kind of keep going. Right? So yeah, you're in a zone that you just kind of play with throughout the whole time we're shooting. And then when we leave, then we go away. This has been a really relaxing thing.
Yes.
It's been really great. Yeah.
There's no monsters trying to kill me.
Nobody's trying to kill you. You don't have to desperately get out of here.
Yeah, as far as I know.
The first week at home is always tricky. You always wake up and go, we're in.
Wait till you try to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see tonight.
We're stuck in Tennessee.
We have one from over here on the right.
Yes.
Mine's not about prom, is that okay? How was it working on Criminal Minds?
No, Criminal Minds. I had a good time. I say that because I think it went on for maybe 10 or so episodes, but one of the actors was leaving, and so they shot everything in 2 weeks. And so like, I'm sure everybody else had a great time, but all my stuff happened in 2 weeks, and so it was literally like, what page are we on again? Okay, got it, let's go. So, but I had a good time for the 2 long weeks. Yeah, and sex in the prison that I was in. We did. It was good. Yeah, but he was leaving, and then I think he came back. I think he left the show, and then like maybe a year later came back, and so made us work that hard for nothing. What else?
What was your experience like when you worked on Z Nation?
Okay, so Z Nation, unlike many other things, was always going to be a lark. It was always, they're like, let's bring this guy in. You think we're going to follow him?
Yes.
And then we're going to kill him with a zombie baby. It was always going to be that. And so I had a good time. No, it was a one and done. I wanted to do that. I thought it was going to be funny. And then everybody was like, hey! I watched Z Nation for you. What the hell? A zombie baby? You got mad. I was like, it was a joke. It's a joke. No. See, it's a zombie baby.
He said he was mad.
You were mad, but it was a baby. I actually still have that baby at home because they gave it to me. Yeah, but I have to hide it because my youngest hates it. And rightfully so, it's a zombie baby, guys.
And actually, that follows into my question was, I'm sorry, we're focusing so much on
No, I'm really old. It's okay.
And that was going to be my question is, you've done so many things, and I've enjoyed all of them, and I'm from It's Coming for Me, but anyway, do you have souvenirs from all your...
No, not yeah, almost everything, Lost, Romeo and Juliet, they kind of knew what they were doing, and they recognized that they're probably at some point going to be in the Academy Museum at some point. And so it was really hard to get anything from a lot of the shows that I've been in. A few things, Z Nation, they weren't even sure it was going to keep going. But then it did. It went for a really long time, so they gave me the zombie baby. Yeah. But I don't have a lot of things.
How about Oz? Did you save anything from Oz? Is there a wheelchair in a closet somewhere?
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. No. That's one of the ones actually, that was such an experiment. surprised that they didn't let us have all that stuff because at that point there were cable TV wasn't at all what cable TV is now. There was only one show on HBO. It was like Dream On. That was it. Nothing else. And so then we shot Oz. And I remember once. Okay, this is not for the kids in the house. Thank God. I remember there was one scene where there's one character. All the executives from HBO had come in. They wanted to see what we were doing. This weird experimental show, and it was a scene where a guy was giving another guy oral something, and then he gets his neck snapped. And all the executives went, I mean, okay. They just walked out. Nobody knew what we were doing. We didn't know what we were doing. It was, okay. But it really sort of changed the landscape for television, for cable for sure. And then we had great things, The Sopranos and Game of Thrones. All that stuff happened after that. And so, yeah, but we started off in a really wild way. But I don't have any of that stuff, no wheelchairs or anything. I should go get it. But
Anybody else?
Anybody else?
I mean, because I've got plenty to talk to him about. This is for
Gotta
you.
talk to
This is
Corteon.
not about me, y'all. This is for you. Yeah, we have one right here.
Hello.
Hey.
In real life, would you choose to live in Colony House or the town? Not your character, but like you personally.
Yes. I'm asking this a lot.
I always say Colony House first, but it is such a lie. I think I would go absolutely insane if somebody took my pillow, or if somebody stole my socks. I would just lose my mind. I would like my own room. I would move into the Lou house. It seems like things get done in that house. Colony House, on the weekends maybe I'd go. During the week, yeah, I'm hanging out with him. What about you?
No, I always do the same. Yeah. I say Colony House, but at the end of the day, I'm a rules follower.
It's way cooler to go to the Colony House.
It really is.
But I think it's a lot harder of a life. It's impossible.
And the first time we read the very first script, Colony House was way wilder than it turned out to be. Colony House was wild. There was
It was like New York in the 70s.
Yeah.
Did anything you wanted to do.
On LSD.
Yeah.
Colony House was wild, and then they tampered it all down. So.
Yeah.
And there's so many chances too for somebody to open the window because there's so many people in there.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
It happened. All because that guy was in love with the monster. I mean, get a grip. It's terrifying.
I don't know if this happened. Somebody said to me, wait a minute. You could get anything you want in Colony House, and she opened the window for that guy? What's wrong with you? Okay, but I could do that right here, too. What's wrong with you? That always made me laugh. Which is a good question.
But yeah, the town.
Yeah, the town.
And then Colony House on the weekend.
I'm a rules follower. I don't like it, but I am.
You got a favorite character that you played, and what's your most complicated role you think?
This is turning out to be one of the most complicated roles. There are a lot of morality questions the character has to keep asking, and I have to keep finding ways that I can make it seem like a natural fit. Some of them, again, you'll see in season 3, there's some choices that Boyd has to make that are tough choices for me. Do you know what I mean? And so this is turning out to be one of the hardest and one of the most fun, because I'm actually really enjoying it, everybody that we're working with. And it's a really great thing. We're just doing this tiny thing up in Nova Scotia, with everybody there, our rips, our camera person, our sound, Matt Likely, artists, all working really hard to make this show that they call horror, but it really is like a bunch of really great artists that are just what can we do to make this as cool and real as possible? And I think that's what we're doing. So this is turning out to be one of the hardest and one of the most fun times I've had. Yeah.
You got a favorite character?
Huh?
You got a favorite character that you played like other shows, or is this your favorite?
No, this is fun. But I've had, I hate to answer this one a lot. No, it's not hard. It's not hard. But people will look at me funny. There are two characters that I played in a dress, and both times I was like, hey, I'm kind of pretty. And it's a really weird thing to be like cis male to be like, but I'm kind of pretty. So I did this thing called Woman on Top to me and Penelope Cruz, where I play a person who's transsexual, I think is the correct term now. And then I did this other thing called Dumpling, where I play, which is also a wild call. We want a Dolly Parton impersonator, and they called me. This is Harold Perrineau. You got the right number? But it was really kind of fun and so outside of me that I could really explore it. Like I could really fully explore anything I wanted to feel, which is an interesting to feel in life. So yes, just all right, let's see what happens. Way outside the box. And so those two characters.
From Shakespeare to Parton. From Shakespeare to Dolly Parton. And this is Dolly Parton's country, you know. So.
It's a really fun character.
And I think that's part of what we love about you is your range. It's fantastic.
I've been really fortunate.
Well, we're running out of time, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I'm sorry. Did you want, Corteon, would you like to say one more thing to anybody?
Thank you.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you guys.
First time. Next year, definitely next year, we're going to see you again.
Oh, 1,000%.
You're invited to come back next year, please. And Harold, you're invited everywhere. To our homes, to dinner, everywhere. Definitely.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming out, and everybody who joined us afterwards. This was really fun.
Thank you, everybody.
Enjoy the rest of your night.